20, 30 years from now, what will you look like?
The future of your face doesn't have to be a mystery.
Save yourself from wrinkles, sagging, and spotting.
You don't have to have surgery.
Face your future with the tools to prevent aging. Plus, the secret to boosting your energy is in the rainbow. Juice cleanses to protect your heart, brain, and immune system. Coming up next on Dr. Oz.
Today, the future of your face doesn't have to be a mystery. I'm revealing your aging type and the personalized solutions for my arsenal of anti-aging experts. There they are, handsome devils that they are, and beautiful as they are. They have the best ingredients and foods that your skin needs. Now, there are three basic aging types. They're the spotters. They're more prone to age spots and pigmentation. They're the wrinklers. You're prone to fine lines. And then they're the saggers who are prone to sagging, especially around the cheeks or chin. So, to determine your aging type, I've asked some of my audience members to come here together with very special guests, their mom or their maternal grandmother. How many of you came with your relatives today? Let me show your hands. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful audience. Lots of them. So now here's the deal. Because of the similar facial structure, your mom and your grandma are the closest windows to your skin's future. You can actually see the future by looking at them. Natalie, for example, is joining us with her mom and her grandma. Welcome to the show, Natalie. Is your mom or sister?
This is my mom. Good one, though.
I use that in the office. So who do you think's most worried about your facial structure among the family?
Well, my grandmother gives me a lot of advice about my skin. Tells me to stay out of the sun, moisturize.
And who's most worried about their skin?
Probably mom.
Is that
Probably me.
Is that right? Grandma Jerry says it's her. You agree?
Sure.
All right. So here's the deal. I want everyone to do this exercise together. I want you to find out your aging type by looking at your mom and your grandma side by side. So you get them together, get pictures together, and tell me this. What's the first thing you notice about their skin? What does their skin have in common? Is it deep lines around the eyes or the mouth? If that's the case, then you're a wrinkler person. Know that about yourself. If it's the brown spots around your cheeks, then you're a spotter. Find yourself in this, because I'm going to talk about it specifically in a second. And if you're sagging around the jawline or under your eyes, if that's what's happening to your relatives, then you're more likely to be a sagger as you get to their age. You know, they may have a little bit of all three of them, but there's one dominant part, and that prominent problem is what you're going to focus on today. So Natalie, let's do the exercise with you. So get your beautiful mom, grandma together, and look towards me so I can see you. Okay. What do you think if you look at them?
Well, we've got some worry lines in the forehead. I already have those.
Yeah, she's worried about you. Those are from you, by the way.
Yeah, that's all my fault. And then lines around the eyes, which are for happy wrinkles, I think.
So you think you're in the wrinkle
We're
category?
in the wrinkle category, for sure.
I would have to say that as well, because not much sagging at all. You don't have age spots on your face. You're a very beautiful family, by the way. I love seeing daughters, moms, and grandmoms. It's just the best thing of all. I posted something with my granddaughter, my daughter, her mom, my wife, and grandmother. It was the most popular thing I ever put on Facebook. I think people really like that because they like seeing what the future could be and how you can change it, which is what today's show is about. So the first anti-aging expert that I'm bringing in is a good friend, top dermatologist, Dr. Ellen Marmer, and she has personalized a skin solution for you. So guys, come on up. We'll start with you. So Dr. Marmer, what do you recommend for wrinkles if you want to prevent them? We'll get to treating them in a second, but if you want to prevent them, if you're still young and have the opportunity, what do you recommend?
Well, first of all, my family are wrinklers too, because we express a lot, right? We smile, so those are good wrinkles.
Yes.
The way to prevent that is kind of what you already said. I think you gave great advice, which is to use a moisturizer and sunscreen. The problem is people kind of skimp on both of them, right? They don't reapply their sunscreen, and they don't use enough moisturizer. So typically they might use just like a dime size amount, right? And think that's going to go across their whole face, and it's only enough for your forehead. So what you really need to use is really about a $50 amount and give it enough to your whole face. So that's the best thing to do. Moisturizer, sunscreen, great sleep habits, great exercise habits, and eating habits.
And what if you already have some wrinkles? What can you do to sort of tone down their appearance?
Right, so when we start getting our smile wrinkles, you can use two great things. Retinol serums are vitamin A, so they're made from a nice vitamin, and they're now more stable than ever. So they used to be something you only could use at night. Now you can use them in the day or night, and you want to use just a small amount on your hand and make little polka dots around your whole face and rub it in evenly. One of my favorite things now are growth factors, and growth factors are like chicken soup for the skin. They really help nourish your skin from the outside in, and they help you sort of have that dewy glow, especially when your skin feels dry and wrinkly and unhappy, especially during the winter.
Jerry, I love your eyes. They're they're inquisitive. They want the information. It's fantastic. So give me this. If you want to keep all their eyes looking as beautiful as they are right now, what's the best way to actually apply the cream?
Right. A lot of people apply the cream with a big finger and they kind of shear around really fast, or at least just under the eyes. So they make the mistake of just focusing on under eyes. But the upper eyelid also sinks. So you want to put some on your hand, put your little pinky in. You guys can put your pinky in, and then make little dots around your eye. And rub in with that little tiny gentle finger around the whole eye, upper and lower, and just kind of massage it in. So you're going to get your massage circulation and your eye cream all around with your gentle finger. Perfect.
Nicely done. Dr. Mummer, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. My next anti-aging expert is Dr. Anthony Ewing, and he's with Courtney and her mom and her grandmother. So Courtney, let's get mom and grandma together there. Let's look at their face and tell me, what aging type do you think you are?
Well, looking at them both, I would hope I would look as good as they do when I'm their ages.
Good wish.
But thank you. But I see a little around their eyes and their cheeks, and I'm afraid we may be saggers.
Yeah, there's a little sagging going on. Well, you got to have one of them, so you might as well have one that you can deal with.
That is true.
Dr. Ewing, how much does genetics play a role in how our faces age?
Well, science shows that genetics plays a big role in how our skin sags as we get older. So unfortunately, if your mom or your grandma has sagging skin, you're probably going to inherit it from her too. Okay. That being said, we can't change our genetics, we can't change our parents, obviously, but what we can change are certain things in our environment. And studies show that having a poor diet, pollution, smoking, bad habits can also cause our skin to age faster and to sag quicker.
So, Grandma, when did you first notice when you began to have sagging in the skin? Yesterday. If only we hadn't done this show. The purgatory of being on our stage.
Honestly, 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
About 5 years.
And Mom, how about you?
I guess in the last couple of years, I guess I look at other people and I say, what, do I look like that? And then I just go and I look in the mirror and I say, well, maybe. And I try not to notice, but I think I notice a little bit.
And Courtney, you're still pretty young. Have you noticed any changes at all?
Not yet, no.
All right, let's address this. How do we go about making sure that we slow down that progression?
Yeah, well, you don't have to have surgery to decrease your sagging or to prevent it. So, great thing is to use a peptide cream. Now, peptides are tiny proteins that are cellular signalers, and what they do is actually signal your cells of your skin to create new collagen. And our skin is composed of collagen in tightly packed fibers. I describe this like the logs of a log cabin. And as we get older, that skin ages and those fibers start to become more haphazard. They start to fall apart and the skin starts to sag. You use a peptide cream, you can buy that at a drugstore, and what we usually recommend is you look for ones with either a palmitoyl oligopeptide or pentapeptide in it. And you can find it at most drugstores. They're usually not that expensive.
If you want to maximize the impact of these peptides, what can you do?
Well, one great thing you can do is use a do-it-yourself product. Now, you can buy a scrub at the store, but scrubs can be very expensive. Good way to do it at home, take a little baking soda, a little bit of honey, and some gently warm milk. You mix it together, and after you rinse your face with some warm water, you can apply this onto your skin and you can gently exfoliate it. And the benefit of that is you can actually get the skin to, number one, feel smoother, feel tighter, but you can get better penetration of your peptide creams. Because exfoliation gets rid of that upper layer of dead skin, that skin that prevents the peptide creams from getting in. You can get it much deeper, signal those cells to create new collagen. Now, you only want to start exfoliating a few times a week. You don't want to exfoliate every day, okay? Because your skin, it might be too aggressive for it. The peptide creams, however, you can usually use it twice a day.
All right, thank you very much. All right, for all the spotter types out there, my next anti-aging expert knows exactly what skin ingredient you need because she comes from a family of spotters too.
Hi, Dr. Oz. Dr. Janine Downey here. My aging type is that of a spotter. My mom and my grandma all have dark spots on their skin from hyperpigmentation and melasma. Most people get it on their cheeks, the bridge of their nose, their forehead. It can also appear on other body parts like the forearms and the neck. So the personalized solution for my aging type is the following. Monday through Friday, I recommend niacinamide. That is vitamin B3. You put on a pea-sized amount, spread it all over the face, including under the eyes. Then on the weekends, what I recommend is retinoids. Retinoids on the weekend is critical because they actually help to build collagen and also even out your skin tone. And then obviously every day, Sunday through Sunday, you need to use an SPF 30, rain or shine, January through December, and it doesn't matter what your skin type is. This is especially important for this aging type. Thank you so much.
So I have one more anti-aging weapon based on your aging type, personalized foods for your skin. Dr. Karuna Sabnani is a naturopathic doctor who specializes in skin and aging. She's joining us to tell you why foods are just as important as what you put on your face. Why are they so important?
Well, foods are really important for your face because your skin is a mirror for what's going on in your body. So the foods that you eat are going to reflect on your skin. And you can eat foods that have really high antioxidants, vitamin C, and hydrating qualities, just like what you would put on the outside of your skin.
All right, so if we do all this the right way, we can help avoid these 3 big problems we've been talking about. Specifically, if you're a wrinkler type, what should you be eating?
My favorite foods for that are cucumber, romaine lettuce, and celery, because they're really high in silica. And silica has really high collagen. It helps to plump out the skin and ease those wrinkles.
Okay, what should a spotter skin type do to help their skin?
Pomegranate is my favorite food for spotters, and it's really high in powerful antioxidants and vitamin C, which actually can give you the UV protection inside of your body and also help strengthening the outer layer of your skin to protect you from photoaging. I love to eat it raw, love to do it in a snack, and my new favorite way to do it is to add it to roasted vegetables. Here we have a mask where you can also put it topically on your skin. And what you do is you just make a pomegranate paste from 1 to 2 pomegranates, add a few drops of lime, and just put it on your skin 30 minutes before you go to bed because you don't want to do it after you're out in the sun.
Can you eat the leftovers?
Yeah, it would be really tasty actually. Add it to a smoothie.
All right. And finally, if you're a sagger, what's the dietary advice? What should they be eating?
Papaya, because it's really high in vitamin C. It's also high in papain, which is a digestive enzyme, because it's really important to have good digestion because remember, what you eat reflects on your skin. And the way that I like to eat it is just 1 cup cut up in cubes, or you can also add it to a juice. It's really tasty that way.
Great advice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For all your personalized skin solutions based on your aging type, you can go to droz.com. I'll be right back.
Next, do you depend on coffee to get a boost? Sip on this. The real secret to boosting your energy can be found in a rainbow juice cleanse. Learn to decode the colors to supercharge your health. Different colors and flavors to drink every day. Next. All new Oz.
We have habits when we're young. Most of us outgrow them.
From eating candy like a beaver to the picky eater, Dr. Oz reveals if your food habits are normal or nuts. That's coming up tomorrow.
Could the secret to boosting your energy be simply the colors of the rainbow? Nutrition expert Dr. Ginger Southall says yes, and today she's here with her Rainbow Juice Cleanse to boost your energy. Now you claim that you're the originator of the green drink. I've got a bone to pick. I thought that was my mother-in-law's idea that I stole.
Well, you know, I've been doing this for a long time, Dr. Oz.
Well, my mother-in-law thinks maybe you taught the people who taught her. I don't know, is it that long, you think, or not really?
I think I taught someone who taught you, actually.
Oh, all right. So let me get to this rainbow cleanse, rainbow juice cleanse. We talked about cleanses in the past and juice cleanses in particular. What makes yours different?
Well, the first and probably the most important thing is I encourage people to juice vegetables, not fruit. Our society is so addicted to sugar, and our natural inclination when we start eating healthier is to move to fruit, which there's nothing wrong with fruit, but when you're constantly drinking fruit juice, honestly, it's no better than a soda.
So we stick with veggies.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is the phytonutrients, and you get that when you do rainbows of foods and juices.
Right. Harvest what the sun's giving you. And why is it important that we start with 1 juice a day?
Well, you know, that's how to kind of baby step yourself into it. I have friends who do the juice immediately, do the 7-day juice cleanse, but many people, because their taste buds are tainted from coffee and sodas and high salt and chemicals in our foods, you know, they don't appreciate the taste of real food yet. So I kind of want to ease it into you.
All right, come on over here. Let's get to the juices of the rainbow. Now, I have Nancy, Kalia, and Grace at our tasting table. They're going to taste the juices as Dr. Ginger explains them. And Dr. Ginger says you're going to start with just 1 juice a day. 1 juice a day. You can try different colors, all different beautiful colors of the rainbow. We built this up for you.
Gorgeous.
And you don't have to go in order. You can go in any desired combination of colors.
That's right.
So walk us through these. Start with the reds.
Okay, so reds. We have lycopene, great for heart, prostate health, cancer.
Is this pure
and
tomato?
all of these energy. This is pure, I don't know if that's tomato or a combination of tomato and red peppers.
No, it's a combination. Yeah. That's a good idea.
And in my book, in the recipes, it's not just straight vegetables. I do herbs and spices and things to kind of give you some different flavors that are different than fruit juice.
Right. So red is tomato and peppers.
We have the orange here, carotenoids, great for overall body development.
A little tangy there.
We have the yellow, which is great for eye health and retinal health.
I need this for my surgeon eyes. The eyes of an eagle.
There you go, yeah.
I used to have anyway. This is my green drink.
the green juice.
My
the
green drink.
Juice. Our green juice.
Fine, our green juice. Our green juice. It's like a married couple. And what's purple?
The purple and violets, it's memory. It's for memory.
Yes, that's very well. It's very earthy. My favorite one is that red one, I think. Probably the easiest. So ladies, what do you think? Tasting table. Nancy, which is your favorite?
Definitely the one in the middle.
Oh, you like this one the most?
The eye health one.
Ginger.
Now, all of these will give you great energy, too.
Okay. So you like the yellow the most. Mm-hmm. And Kalia, which one do you like?
I liked the tomato. I tasted tomato in the first one. It was like marinara sauce kind of. It tastes really
I'm
good.
with you. You like the red juice the most.
Yes.
All right. And our final contestant?
Ooh, I like all of them, but I think my favorite is the yellow. I taste zucchini and squash.
All right, so we got a lot of yellow lovers. All right, so yellow or red, pick your one. All right, now you mentioned this a little bit earlier, that we had ways of spicing this up a tiny bit. And walk us through the different ways that you can actually make a little bit of a difference.
So we have lemons and limes, and these are really the only fruits per se that I allow in the juices when you really get strict with the juices. And this is great for alkalinity and just great flavor.
All right. And then this is that stevia?
All sorts of spices. Stevia.
Mint, parsley, cinnamon.
Cinnamon as well for blood sugar regulation.
And this is capsaicin with hot peppers?
Yeah, it's cayenne
peppers. Right. Ginger.
You always need a little bit of ginger in your life every day, right?
And chia.
Some chia seeds.
Listen, I could buy these, right, in a store and have these pre-made. So why don't I do that rather than mixing it myself?
Well, here's the thing. Worst, better, best. It's certainly better than a soda or a coffee to buy pre-made juices, but when you make it yourself, make it fresh, it's not pasteurized. So if you can find a cold pressed or an unpasteurized juice, that's great, but it's always best to make it yourself, but you can certainly do that.
And of course, theoretically, pasteurization is to make it clean, but what does it do that's so bad for
It kills off the nutrients and the enzymes. It kills the magic. It kills what we're trying to do here.
All right. So, take it away. We actually snuck a couple of these into your drinks without you realizing it, I'm sorry to admit. So Grace, were you able to detect which ones we stuck in there?
They were also delicious. I'm not sure.
Did anyone taste any either cinnamon or the chia?
Ginger.
Ginger?
Yeah. Ginger and garlic. Yeah.
Garlic?
Yeah.
There's no garlic here.
No.
Did you add garlic?
Garlic's in some of the recipes.
See, first the green drink, then the garlic stuff. All right. So Ginger also has rainbow smoothies. She's got soups. She's got sides. She's got desserts. And this is for the people who don't have a juicer or don't want to use a juicer. So if I could ask our tasting table ladies, come on up here. I have a smorgasbord here. And Ginger, explain what's the difference between blending or juicing. Please come.
Okay, well, therapeutically speaking, that's kind of where green juicing comes from. Where juicing comes from.
Eating, yes.
Just speak loudly, Ginger.
Juicing is like a shot in the arm of nutrients, and it gives you energy instantly. When you start blending, as we have here in the green cilantro smoothie, it's blending everything together so the fiber's still intact. So I recommend people doing both. But it's a great first start for someone who's not quite ready to juice.
So what do we have here, Zach? We have the two drinks. You guys haven't tasted those yet. What do you think about this green stuff? Is that broccoli?
This was good.
How about this?
Ooh, delicious.
That is cauliflower with nutritional yeast. So it's like a mashed potato.
Yeah.
But it's healthy and it's not cooked and it's fresh.
They put like 12 cloves of garlic in there.
It's so good.
But this is my favorite, which is the best. I will share with you.
That is
How'd you make this?
avocado carob powder. Okay, so it's not unhealthy. All the desserts in the book are really healthy, and it almost might be a great starting point for many people to start with the desserts. But you won't feel deprived, and it doesn't have caffeine. It doesn't have dairy in it because it's made with carob instead, and the base of it is avocado.
Hope you guys had a good time.
I did.
Thanks for being here. You can find all of today's recipes and an excerpt from Dr. Ginger's new book, The Rainbow Juice Cleanse, on DrOz.com. We'll be right back.
Next, does it take forever to fall asleep? Do you toss and turn, your mind racing? Don't be a slave to your thoughts. New research says meditation can help calm your brain. Learn the 3 simple secrets to help you unwind at night and get the sleep you deserve. Next.
We are bringing healthy back this season and want you to bring it too. Grab your prescription pad for fun and sign up for free tickets today. You can go to DrOz.com/tickets and sign up. Today, the breakthrough research that proves meditation can help give you a better night's sleep. I'm joined by Tanya, who says she's been struggling to fall asleep for years. What is going on?
You know, for 20 years now, I lay down, prepared to go to sleep, and my mind is racing. I'm thinking about what I didn't do, what am I supposed to do when I'm cooking for dinner, what am I wearing to work? I'm thinking about everything that there is to possibly think about.
I think that's probably the main reason we don't sleep in America. So let me ask you, what have you done to try to unwind? What's worked for you, what's failed?
Okay, so I've tried to reorganize the bedroom. I tried to do that, so no eating in bed, no work on the laptop. That didn't work. Then I tried, you know, a nice glass of wine. That didn't work. I tried a hot shower.
How much wine did you try?
We're not gonna talk about that, we're not gonna talk about that. Then I tried a nice hot shower. That didn't work. Like, I can get in the bed, but then once I get there, I'm thinking about everything there is to possibly, stuff I don't even want to think about, I'm doing it.
So the reason I wanted to talk about this today was a new study that came out comparing sleep hygiene, that's what you were trying to do, all those things that change your life so that you're more prepared to sleep, with meditation. And the meditation seems to work better. So to help discuss this, I brought an expert in here, a leading expert in mindful meditation. Corey Muscara is with us. And he's gonna help you and everybody else fall asleep. You get the middle here. Corey, welcome. So help us understand, what is it about meditation that gives you optimism? What is it that made the study show that meditation actually works for sleep?
Right, so meditation has been shown in medical studies to improve sleep. So this can be a very effective way to naturally improve your sleep, mainly because so much of our sleep problems are caused by stress, anxiety, and just endless thinking.
You seem pretty skeptical.
No, it's not that I'm skeptical. It sounds time consuming.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's something I'm going to be worried about doing while I'm laying in the bed worrying about what I got to do.
Right, that's the millions of folks are probably saying the same thing Tanya's saying. I got enough things to worry about. Why is this not just another barrier to me getting through my day?
So this is a concern I hear a lot. And it's really interesting because meditation really isn't a task. And what many people describe is that it's more like a vacation.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Yeah, a task is constantly thinking about everything you had to do the next day or everything that you did this previously and worrying about that. I mean, that's exhausting.
So you got 3 secrets you're going to share with us. 3 things that are going to make us able to use meditation today. The first is belly breath. So show us how to get ready for this.
So we'll take a seat here. I want us to do this together.
You can sit any way you want, I gather, right?
Yeah, you could do this lying down. You could sit down. You could sit in a chair.
It's just a cooler way. It looks cool.
Yeah, we look cool doing this.
Looks cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
This stuff?
Here, put the pillow vertically.
You can turn it vertically.
There we are. There we are.
That way. Yeah.
All right.
I'm feeling cool.
How's that feel? Is that comfortable? You want to be comfortable.
No, but I'm working with you.
For right now? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, after you do the practice, it will be.
Okay.
All right. So the thing about the deep belly breath is that it's very difficult to be stressed out when you're breathing from your belly. Okay? It physiologically changes cortisol levels, it lowers blood pressure, and slows the heartbeat.
Okay.
So what we're going to be doing here is just taking one in-breath through the nostrils.
Everyone in the audience, please do this. People at home, just
together.
take 2 seconds. Everyone at home, just do this with us. Okay.
Yeah.
Inhale through nostrils.
So inhale through the nostrils and feeling like the belly is inflating like a balloon. And then exhaling through the mouth and feeling like the belly is deflating like a balloon. And if you do this 5 times, about 30 minutes before you go to bed, you should notice that it induces a deeper state of calm.
All right, the next sleep tip is to actually replay the day. Now, this sounds very counterintuitive. What does it mean?
Right. So this is a way to really let go of unnecessary thoughts and worries from the day. And it's a way to intentionally refocus on things that happened during the day so that we're not caught up in them. Usually before we go to bed, we're so worried about everything that happened or everything that we had to do that we didn't get done. In this method, we're replaying the day from the first moment all the way to the present moment. And we're focusing on it with mindful awareness so that we're not caught up in the worry about
What
it.
if, I'm sure Tanya probably got a couple things like most of us do that hold her up. What if she just gets stuck on one issue?
Right, and so sometimes this happens, but we want to feel like the brain, it has a gentle fast forward. So moving from one moment to the next, just noticing what is there, noticing the thoughts and noticing the moments as you're going through and letting them go.
How do you know when you're doing it right? How do you know when Tanya's actually effectively meditating so she can tell if it's helping her sleep?
Yeah, so I mean, what I like to say is imagine a highway and the cars racing down on the highway, right? And also imagine standing on an overpass and watching those cars go by. The cars are like your thoughts. So you could be either in the car and moving with the traffic, or you could be on the overpass watching them go by. In mindfulness meditation, we want to feel like we're watching the cars go by.
What do you think, Tanya?
You know, tonight when I go home and I'm replaying my day today, I'll let it pass by me and not focus so much, right?
There's one last thing I want
let
you to
it
do
go.
with that. As you let those thoughts go, take us through the last step, which is to actually flip the switch.
Yeah.
pop
So what
the
we're going
pillow
to do
out.
here, this is the final step. We're going to lie down.
Oh,
So this is right before you're going to bed here.
Well, do I gotta lie on my back or do I lie like I really lay
Again,
down?
whatever is comfortable for you. Yeah, and that works.
I love our guests.
The back is to me. That's all right.
I can hear you. I'm just trying
She's
to make
listening.
it, more applicable to my lifestyle.
So in this step, since we've already settled down a little bit, this is a way to use the mind to help the body really physically relax. And what we're going to do is bring our attention to the left toe and the left foot, okay? The small toe, and focus on the sensations there. And just feel like you're switching off this toe. So imagining that you're switching it off, and in many ways we're giving ourselves permission to just turn off the body here, knowing that we won't need it until the next day. And you can actually recite the word switch off in your head. And what you'll do is move from the toe to the feet and all the way up to the top of the head, doing this with each body part and just saying switch off.
Everyone at home, keep doing this. As you let your whole body go to sleep. Tanya's snoring already. We'll be right back.
Next, her husband murdered their kids and then himself.
I just remember thinking, I cannot let this destroy me.
The unexpected moment she experienced that may prove life after death.
You saw your children?
I saw my children.
Next. All new Oz.
We have habits when we're young. Most of us outgrow them.
From eating candy like a beaver to the picky eater, Dr. Oz reveals if your food habits are normal or nuts. That's coming up tomorrow.
I truly believe in our darkest times, we are never alone. And no one exemplifies that more than my next guest, who after unspeakable tragedy has begun to heal herself by tapping into the light. It was a normal school morning. Zoe Mendoza's 3-year-old son Jordan wakes with a raspy cough, no fever. Zoe starts a steam shower to help clear his lungs, then fixes 5-year-old Jada's hair.
She said, Mama, I want my 2 poofs. Jada always had her 2 signature poofs. And my son Jordan, and he always wanted to look like Michael Jackson.
Zoe buckles the kids into their car seats and drives the short distance to daycare.
It was a beautiful October day. The leaves were just all different colors. As we were driving, Jada said, Mama, why are all the leaves falling to the ground? We talked about the cycle of life, and then she paused and said, but Mama, I don't want you to die. I said, oh, honey, you don't have to worry about that. Mama's gonna be here for a very long time.
But when it comes time to leave her mother and go into school, Jada doesn't run off to class as usual.
She grabbed my hand. She said, Mama, I miss you already. I said, honey, I'm right here. You don't have to miss me. And she said, no, Mama, I miss you already. I said, I'm gonna pick you up after school like I do every day. And she said, no, Mama, I miss you already.
Zoe and her husband of 8 years, Curtis, are having problems. Still living together, but discussing separation. Later that day, Curtis calls to plead to save the marriage.
I had stopped for a quick manicure, and he called me and he said, I want to make this work. Why can't we do this? And I said, I can't have this conversation with you right now. I'm in the middle of a public place. A little while after that, he texted me and said, don't worry, I'll pick up the kids.
But Zoe does worry. Her mother's intuition tells her something isn't right. Though the children are scheduled to remain in school until 4:30, at 2:30, she decides to pick them up early herself.
I called to make sure that they would have Jada and Jordan's bags packed, and the administrator who answered the phone stated that not to worry because Curtis had already picked the kids up half-hour prior. My heart was racing. It was totally out of character for Curtis to pick the kids up without telling me.
Zoe calls his cell phone.
I left a message and said, bring the kids to me immediately.
But by 6 p.m., she still has not heard from her husband. She calls the police.
They said he would need to be gone 24 hours before we would file a missing persons report. So I asked the police to please check the Ringwood, New Jersey property that Curtis's parents owned.
Ringwood police respond to the call. By 7:30, the house is surrounded by police, ambulances, and the press. Fearing the worst, Zoe races to the scene.
My friend Jody drove me. I just kept saying over and over, he killed my kids, he killed my kids.
Zoe's fears are quickly, horrifyingly confirmed. Before killing himself, Curtis used his grandfather's rifle to kill Jordan and Jada. There was no suicide note, no explanation, just unimaginable grief for the mother.
The loneliness that you feel when your babies are taken. There's no filling that hole. There's nothing there to take that pain away.
I'm so sorry, Zoe. Thank you. Have you ever stood up at night wondering, why me?
I asked that a lot in the beginning, especially, and even today sometimes.
Well, I asked you to join us because I treasure the opportunity to find how people heal. Whether it's a bad medical diagnosis or a tragedy in their lives of the kind, unbelievably tragic kind that you're describing, that you experienced. The first phase of this recovery actually happened a few weeks afterwards, from what I understand. You actually had an experience where you may have felt the children. Can you walk us through that?
Sure. One of the things after my kids died, people left dozens and dozens of books in my house. I don't know who left what books. They were just left, all about child loss and grieving and a variety of different things. That evening, my mom handed me a book called Lessons from the Light by George Anderson. And she said, I want you to read this chapter. It's about children in heaven. And it talked about babies that die, and that heaven is love, and they feel no burden, they feel no pain, they feel no sadness. They don't miss you because they're with you. You just don't know how to feel them yet. You don't recognize that they're with you all the time. And it just, like, things kind of became clear to me in that moment. And I started kind of meditating. And I just kept saying to myself, I love you, I miss you, I love you. And I was weeping. And all of a sudden I heard my children giggle. And I shot straight up. And it was the middle of the night, but my room was lit up brighter than if the sun were streaming in. I can't even describe how white my room was. And there was a little white staircase right next to me. And my children were at the top. And
your kids, you saw your children?
I saw my children. And when our eyes met, they ran down the stairs and leaped on me and just were full of the life that I knew them to be full of. And I didn't even know what to do. I just said, they're here, you're with me. You know, I remember it like it happened 5 seconds ago, every detail of it. And it changed my life from that moment forward.
You actually felt them?
I felt them. My daughter came to me, her hair was done differently than I'd ever done her hair, and I said that to her, somebody else is doing your hair, because I never do your hair like that. And she smiled at me, but she just laid with me, both of my children laid with me.
Oh my goodness. So the next phase of your healing was an important one, came about 6 months later. You made a decision not to medicate yourself, not to take away the pain that obviously any mother would feel in the situation. Why?
I felt very early on that I could not run away from what happened to my children. I also felt as though in order for me to move through the pain, I didn't want to numb it. And so that was a choice that I made.
There are millions of people watching you right now, some admiring the fact that you've been able to come as far as you've come, others with deep pain in their own lives that parallels yours. What words of wisdom do you have for folks who are searching for resiliency, the kind that you've shown?
I was active in searching for help. That's what I would say to people. There are so many resources. I was lucky because I had family and friends surrounding me, but I know not everybody has that support system. There are so many resources for people who are grieving and who are scared and don't know how to reach out. I got on the internet. I started researching. I ordered books. I just would love to be able to help people just keep one string of hope and be active in searching. You can't always wait for people to come to you. You have to reach out and find the people that can support you the best.
That little thread becomes a quilt.
Yes.
And people help you weave it.
Yes.
I'm very sorry you went through this.
Thank you.
And I'm very proud of what you've been able to accomplish for yourself.
Thank you for having me.
Be right back.
Coming up, this doctor spends most of his time undercover, below bridges, darkened alleys, and abandoned streets, offering free care to a group of people too often forgotten. His inspiring dedication will inspire you. Next.
After hours, the doctor you're about to meet spends most of his time under bridges, down darkened alleys, and abandoned streets, offering free medical care to a group of people too often forgotten. Meet Dr. Jim Withers.
Any pain down in here?
Not that much.
Dr. Jim Withers has devoted his life to serving the underserved.
Got kind of worried about you last night.
By making house calls to those without homes. He's been bringing hope and healing to the homeless for more than 20 years. Armed with a backpack of medical supplies,
Bandaging material, cough and cold medicines and inhalers, blood pressure cuff. Antibiotics should come next.
Dr. Withers takes to the streets of Pittsburgh nightly to care for those who are either unable or unwilling to seek medical care on their own.
Well, some of us don't like going to the hospitals because the first thing they do, they look at our arms and stuff, say, oh, they drug addicts, and should we treat them? They're killing themselves, but it's more comfortable coming here, because they treat you with kind of like some respect.
Dr. Withers dresses down to blend in, and having earned their trust, the homeless community now welcomes him as one of their own.
I don't think there will ever come a time when I don't find some way to be close to those who are poor, those who have been marginalized. That's really important to me.
His patients suffer with everything from infected wounds to life-threatening cancers. And for them, Dr. Withers is their only hope for survival, giving them a second lease on life.
People out there are hanging on for dear life. One of the things that happens is you see yourself in street people. Even if you're honest, you see, I could have been there. I could have been me.
Dr. Jim Withers is here. A wonderful tale. What inspired you to do this kind of work?
Well, when I was little, my dad, who was a family doctor, took me on house calls. So it's very natural to go to people. And as you probably experienced, you realize as you go through that there's a disconnect between people and the health system. And so I really was looking for a classroom to take my students out. I went out to save doctors as much as homeless folks. And so this has evolved into a movement. We've got 48 communities where we started programs, and we call it street medicine.
Good for you. What are the biggest challenges of taking care of folks on the street medicine you're alluding to?
Well, the first is their hopelessness, their sense that no one cares about them. So it's building trust. Initially, I dressed like a homeless person to kind of mingle, and then it evolved, and then the challenge is going with people in solidarity to get them the services that they really need.
You've been doing this for 23 years, is that right?
Yeah.
Best we can estimate, about 20,000 people have benefited because you came to this planet. And there's all kinds of people whose lives you would check. And I've heard different names, but tell me the story of Jack, for example.
Well, Jack's a great guy. He's an ex-Marine. He found himself on hard times, and met him when he was on the street. We actually got him into housing, and then I made house calls again. And I watched him, and he inspired me in his recovery. And not always straightforward, but he stuck to it, and he's really come a long way.
Yeah, it's interesting. You can't really make a house call if they're homeless, can you?
No, I guess not.
Yeah. Well, Jack has a house, and Jack also has a video cam. So we asked him to tape a little message for you.
Oh, great.
After finding him. Take a look.
Saw a medical man come into what they call tent city of homeless people, and they trusted him. And I saw him administer medical advice, and he was looking for anyone that was willing to start changing their life. And that's where I met Dr. Withers. I honestly don't know how I would have done it without the support of Dr. Withers. He became a good friend.
How does it feel to have that kind of an impact on people?
Well, it's very humbling. It's very humbling. And if I can quote you.
Oh, literally me.
Literally you, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
This really struck me. You wrote or said, "I want no more barriers between patient and medicine." I would take us all back 1,000 years when our ancestors lived in small villages, and there was always a healer in that village. I feel we are a village. We're connected. And if we don't reach out to the people who are being excluded or left out, then we're not as healthy as we could be. So I think,
God bless you. And thanks for all that work. For more information on street medicine, go to DrOz.com. I'll be right back.
All new Oz. How normal are your eating habits?
We have habits when we're young. Most of us outgrow them.
From eating candy like a beaver to the picky eater.
The texture is slimy. I just can't stand it.
Dr. Oz reveals if your food habits are normal or nuts. Plus, up all night worrying.
The minute my head hits the pillow, that's when my mind starts to race.
The plan to shut down your worrying so you can get to sleep.
All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
You bat them, you paint them with mascara, you even add on fake ones. But have you ever wondered what eyelashes are actually used for? Well, science finally has the answer for you, all curious as you may be. Researchers measured the dimension of nearly 24 animal eyes. They performed wind tunnel experiments. They looked at the fluid dynamics and all the modeling, all these crazy experiments. They even made fake eyes out of aluminum pans. And it turns out no matter what size the animal happens to be, no matter how they studied it, it was always the same. Whether it was a 1-pound hedgehog or a 1,100-pound giraffe, all their eyelashes, the length of their eyelashes is always 1/3 the width of their eyes. It's true for humans, horses, dogs. Apparently, this is just the right length to minimize airflow over the eyeball, which keeps your eye from drying out and keeps out the dust. I love stuff like this because you know what? Mother Nature always has a reason. So enjoy your eyelashes. All right, now it's time for In Case You Missed It. First, everybody's going green. Green shakes, green juices, green salads, they are the rage. But now it's time to add some color to your diet with the Rainbow Juice Cleanse. Each color juice gives you different essential nutrients that your body needs. It harvests them from the sun, it gives it back to you. The red protects you against cancer, for example, and heart disease. Orange is great for your immune system. Yellow for eyes. Green, which I happen to adore as well, is for your cells. But the blue-purple is important too because it helps your brain. All of these are important for you, and you get the recipes for all of these colorful, energy-boosting drinks on DrOz.com. And finally, please be careful of dubious people online. They make it seem like I'm endorsing their products because I don't. To see a full list of our trusted sponsors and partners, you can go to DrOz.com. I will see you next time.